Namaste, everyone. I hope this video finds you well today. Today, we're looking at the hips and opening and relaxing the hips. And everybody wants to work hips, and I don't blame you. These hips, they're not just sort of the foundation of the body where the torso meets the pelvis, how we ground to the earth, but they are metaphorically and in a very real way how we move through the world. And can we move through fluidly and gracefully? So keeping that flexibility is so important. And for many of us, we have lifestyles of just sitting in chairs or sitting in cars, or perhaps you're an athlete, hiking, carrying children. All those things can tighten and start to bear down on this basic forward-moving structure. So we got to keep that open and loose so that all that we do and all the things we endeavor to do in our life can be met with fluidity and ease. Yeah? Sound good? We're going to get started. So for today, just starting with a really grounding mantra, the simplest mantra, which is translated simply as yes. It's like the universal yes. Bringing the hands together. Inhaling deeply to the third eye. Exhaling completely for Om. Inhale. Om. Bringing the hands to the third eye and allowing this to carry you down into our first hip opener, a forward fold. And you can see my legs are crossed much tighter than a simple sukhasana. Sukha is known as sweet or comfortable. So this would be like comfortable sit. Swastikasana is crossed, and swasti means crossed actually at the shins, and my toes are outside of my knees to the best of my ability. You can pick up one hip and wrap it back, and then pick up the other, and let the whole body sort of snake in. Let the head drop. You can bring a block down or simply using your hands. We're going to breathe here right into the back body. So intentional breathing for today. Inhale into the back ribs. And exhale, let it go. Let the eyes close. Even the sockets behind the eyes, very relaxed here, very soft. As you breathe, you can let the breath move to the ribs right between the shoulder blades, expanding there, the rhomboids, the trapezius. Slide that left elbow forward, seeing if it can stay grounded, and just taking a little twist, turning right ribs. You might find the right hip wants to drop, but we're going to open, dropping the right hip down, breathing into the right side. Place the breath right to the outer right hip, the QL, the glute medius. Breathe into the back ribs and exhale, release a little deeper. Good. We'll do the second side, right hand down, left arm raising, left hip grounding. You can look down, release the neck, maybe look up, and exhale. Inhale and come up. And right away we'll switch the cross of the legs. Again, I'm much tighter than a normal sukhasana or easy sit. Swastikasana, crossed at the shins, toes to the outside of the legs. And then inhale. Clear in our intention to just let go. To just soften and drop in. These softer practices are really an invitation to go in and in. In and in. Each breath relaxing more. Each breath an opportunity to let another layer peel away. When you're ready, lift the heart, and we're going to take the right hand down, the right elbow, the right forearm, and stretching into the open twist. So the heart stretching open to the left side, left hip grounded, drawing down. Release. We'll turn here, right arm open. Looking down to release the neck if that feels good, and then we're letting it go. Let the pubic bone just drop forward, even back, all the while anchoring the back of the hips to the earth. And when you're ready, inhale and come up. We're going to swing the legs around and come into table position. Good. And I'm going to bring the hands under my shoulders, but I'm actually going to let my knees open a little wider than I would in a normal table or cat-cow, so a little wider than hips distance. But the movement will be the same, so lift the sternum, slide the shoulder blades down, and exhale, round, drawing the tailbone under, head to the knees. Inhale, and you might find with the knees open like this, in this way, that you get a little more movement through the pelvis, through the hips, a little more space. So spaciousness is what we're going for. As we take our next breath, a couple barrel rolls here. So letting the right ear slide to the right hip, breathing through the back body and around. We'll go a couple of times here. And switching sides, left ear to left hip, pressing the earth away as you come around. And we'll come to center here. Curling the toes under as you inhale, shoulders down, and exhale, drawing back right into downward facing dog. Good. And then bend into the right knee and let yourself sink way into that left hip. You might even dial the right knee across, getting a little deeper into that IT band. And we'll come back to center and switching sides. Bend into the left knee. If you'd like a little twist, if it makes the stretch more accessible, and do that. We'll go one more time. Right knee bends, stretching deeply into the left hip. Left knee bends, right heel down. You're going to come to center and take the right leg up into the air. If you'd like to roll it open, you can. And we'll come to center, and as you exhale, bring the knee through for Pigeon Pose. Now this position can actually be pretty precarious on a knee, especially if the hips aren't quite open yet, or maybe you've opened them too much and you tend to dump into the ligaments. Having blankets or even sturdy towels will help us here in this regard. So for most of us, we come into pigeon with the knee forward, and you can see my knee would be aligned with my right wrist, and I'm going to walk my left foot into the midline a little bit. You can take the hands back and a breath to lift the heart, and exhale, a breath to fold in. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths, a few breaths, and then I'm going to walk us through a variation on this. Let the head drop. And for many of us, it's very common, even for me, that left leg would splay to the left. So I'm going to continue to walk it to midline, letting my right hip hug into the center to meet it. And walk the hands up. And I'm going to reach back for my back foot, just for a little stretch, just to draw it in. We're releasing, bringing the hands down, and the leg back, downward facing dog. And take the left leg up here, and an option to roll it open. Exhale, hug it in, step it through and place it down with intention. You can see in this particular option, I'm letting my foot come a little closer to my hip. Walk the hands back, lift the heart, and when you're ready, down we go. And then I'm going to let that right foot walk a little more to center. I'm hugging the right hip into the midline. With each exhale, relax a little more. No sensation in the knee. No sensation in the knee. If you feel that, come out and adjust until it feels very sort of neutral. And I'm just going to reach and draw that leg in. Good. Hands down, downward facing dog. Again, inhaling, letting the right leg raise. Exhale, I'm going to step forward for lunge this time. I'm dropping the back knee. And I'm going to walk my right foot out, one full rotation to the right. Lizard pose. So inhale, let the heart rise. And exhale, walk the forearms down if possible. I like to take a little prayer mudra just to remind myself of the sacredness of this practice. Draw the right hip in. It's very sort of natural to let the hip splay, but I find I get way more work if I pull my right hip in and I let my heart slowly melt down. Let everything relax as much as possible. As much as possible. You might be at a place where you can reach back for the back foot here, like we did on our first side. And either staying in an open twist, bringing the heel closer, or over time finding that you can draw the forehead down to the earth and the heel to the hip as you come into your deeper lizard. Whenever you feel a challenge or you come up against the work, as long as there's no sharp or burning sensation, you just breathe there. Good. Inhale. We're going to stay with this and go a little deeper to find our second variation. So I'm taking the right foot now across the mat. I'm going to take my blanket. And as I exhale to come in, my shin is coming more parallel to my mat. And my blanket, which is propping my hip, is propping my whole thigh bone. From my knee to my hip, so my knee's not on the floor. The whole bone is stabilized. I'm drawing my right hip in. And this is going to be very intense for many. Bringing the foot in this way is going to decrease the intensity. Or grabbing your second blanket and putting it under your hip. Good. Inhale, lift the heart. Maybe even raising the arms. And exhale. Deep release. Deeply relaxed. Let the jaw go. The tongue. Let the channel of the throat open, as if every sweet word that needed to be said could be said. Inhaling, come up. You're welcome to stay. We'll take a little twist here, the right elbow to the inside of the right sole, increasing the intensity as an option. Maybe taking the shoulder down with a wrap. And releasing. Plant the hands, curl the toe. Let's take plank pose here. And just pull. We're working to pull the muscle up around the knee joint. So we're resetting, restabilizing the knee joint from the power of the quadriceps drawing up the leg. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lunge. Dropping the back knee, walking the left foot, one rotation to the left, making a little space like we did in that table cat-cow. Inhale, exhale, forearms down. And you can see I'm allowing my knee to open as it wants to. Not so concerned about form in this particular shape, not trying to hug it in, but letting it open, letting it relax. But drawing the hip, the left hip into the midline will bring me closer to the stretch, closer to the intensity of the work. Take an inhale and an exhale, come in a little deeper. Today I am relaxing more. Today I am home. Today I have arrived. Every day, more in the flow. Inhale if you'd like. We'll take the left arm back, reaching for the foot. Option to find a simple twist here. Maybe taking it deeper. And even deeper still, to hug the heel to the thigh and bringing the head to the earth. When you're ready, releasing. Walking the hands up. And then walking the left foot across. And we'll take our blanket, our support, how you do one thing is how you do everything, they say, right? So how do you support yourself in your life, in your work, in your practice? Anyways, bringing the knee down. So the prop is on the whole thigh bone from my knee to my hip. My knee's not off, creating distortion in the lever, but actually the whole thing. I'm drawing my left hip in, walking my right leg to the midline. A breath to lift the heart. And then when I'm ready, folding in. And how do I know I'm ready? When I feel the spaciousness in my body. So expansion is really here to serve the depth. So I open up my lungs, I open up my body, I open up my mind for something new, and then I exhale, dive completely, fully, and wholeheartedly with wisdom forward into my pose. Every sensation, every healthy sensation is met with a greater sense of calm abiding. Inhale. And if you're welcome to stay just in the simple forward fold. If you'd like to take it a little deeper, elbow to the inner sole of the left leg, hands to the heart, turning open. Draw the left leg deeper back into the hip. And you might find you'd like to take the elbow, or the shoulder to the inside of the foot, raising the arm. And then releasing. Plank pose. Down dog. You have an option here to come into child's pose. But if you're a more advanced practitioner and you feel that you've been ready, or perhaps you've done one of my practice videos and you're interested in a little more hip work, we'll come back into that pigeon pose. The original one, the first one. So you might be able to bring the shin forward, but we're going to tuck the heel a little closer. Walk the hands back, lift the heart. Exhale, ground. So there's a press of the right shin down. We're not hanging on our ligaments. You may choose to reach back for the back foot. Beautiful. Let the left leg swing around. A little twist. Right arm around. Pigeon pose on the left side. If you need to come in from down dog, please do just swing the legs around down dog, and we'll take the left leg forward. But if it's easy for you, just swing the legs around. Walk the hands back, a little press into that left shin. Muscle activation. And if you can, if you'd like to, reaching back for the right foot. Ekapada Rajakopatasana. One-legged king pigeon pose. The right leg swings around and a little twist, lifting the heart, moving the right ribs into the pose. Good. You're welcome to use this video as feels right for you. And really my suggestion would be to get into one of the poses, press pause, stay with it for several minutes, and then move on to the next one, or use it as a flow as part of your regular practice. Either way, open the hips, create fluidity in the knees and the pelvis, the SI and the spine, and you're going to live a long and hopefully life that's in the flow of the universe. This is my greatest wish for myself and for you. Be well, stay healthy. Namaste.